G'day YouTube, it's Turbo Tristan here. Today I'm with AJ Sakai. He's also a YouTuber. He's also got a Civic. We're gonna take his budget track hack and we're gonna fit some budget track hack coilovers to his EG Civic today. And we're gonna do some before and after driving to show you guys the difference, if it's worth it, what you get for your money. So stick around while we fit this suspension. So it's time to introduce AJ. Let's find out about him, his channel, the cars he has. I'll let him do some talking.
Hey guys, my name's AJ, and this is my nice, respectable 30-year-old Civic. It's half decent. Now everything from this car is practically imported from China except the tires. And I'm really testing out the ability of the Chinese stuff. I mean, you get 90% of your stuff from China anyway. So I own a few cars as well. This isn't my only car. I've got a Supra, a Forester, an S15, and this baby here. And something that I'm realizing about the Honda Civics is it's not all about how fast you go on a straight line. It's how fast you can go around a corner. And none of my cars can do it better than the EG Civic. The best modification that I've got on this car are the tires over here. So I've got some Dunlop Dureza Z3s. Now they're 14s, which is the only brand that do 14s. So if you are running 14s, get some Dunlop Durezas. I've also, come around the back. Now down here, I put on a lower subframe brace and some LCAs. Now these were imported from China. They're Function 7 specials. And I've also got a 24mm rear sway bar. Now that thing really helps in turning in, and I'm hoping these coilovers help it turn in better.
So we've got sway bars, we've got tires, the engine, everything on it is 100% stock standard.
100% stock standard.
And it's a injected D15 or 16?
D15 injected. Yes.
Okay, all right.
So that leaves opportunities up for either turbo or K20 swap to do it later down the track.
Sweet. All right. Well, that's enough chit-chatting. Let's get into unboxing the coilovers and pulling this thing apart. All right, here we go. Let's open these up and see what we've got inside. Now, I requested the gold ones. These come in a metallic anodized red or an anodized gold color. AJ requested the gold ones.
Gold goes faster.
So here we go. Comes with a customer service card. So I've got the red ones in my car. They do turbos, con rods, they sponsor racing car drivers, so that's really awesome. We'll put that aside, but that's really nice. They sell them all over the world, and you can follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube under Maxpeedingrods, so check those guys out. So these are from China. It says there, they're not trying to hide the fact, they're not pretending there's something that they're not, but they're 100% brand new aftermarket parts and conform to all OEM standards. So there we go. And they're all quality tested. This is the rear shock. Really, really nice. And we did get the gold ones as requested. They're kind of a bit of a orangey gold, but I guess gold's gold. It says here, doesn't say anything about the spring ratings. It says 70.5 by 11-180-5. So if anyone knows what that means, definitely let me know. And this is a front one. Maxpeedingrods, focus on performance. All the adjustability there. 70.5 by 12, 180-8. Again, I don't know what that means. For the adjustability, this is it here, and both front and rear have these as well, and it's a little nozzle which adjusts the pressure inside the shock and makes it harder or softer. So these are 24-way adjustable. We'll get to this again later, but what I normally do is go all the way one way, and then I count backwards all the way again to make sure it is 24 clicks, and then I usually come halfway in the middle to 12, and then I start my testing from there. In here we also get the C-spanners. They're for your adjustability. You can wind the coils up and down with that, and I'll show you how that works. And you've also got these rings that go in the forks to take up any slack that there might be between, because these suit Integra and EG, and it's the same thing for the EKs. They have these as well. So I'll show you what these are for if we need them. But there we go. Nice quality for a nice price. So today we'll be fitting coilovers to AJ's EG. Maxpeedingrods actually reached out to me and offered me a sponsorship deal. It wasn't a full sponsorship. They didn't pay me any money, and they also didn't give me anything for free. They gave me a really big discount on these, which I then passed over to my friend AJ, who's also a YouTuber. Mentioned that a few times, but make sure you check out his channel. So I wanted to make that very clear. Maxpeedingrods did not pay me any money to do this video, and they did not give me anything for this video for free. These are a few $100s, as we've discussed, and you know, I'm not that famous yet, but they did give me a really sweet discount, which I did pass on to my friend, which is why we're making this video. Because they didn't pay me, and because we had to pay for them, you'll get a very honest review, and you'll get a very honest impression and install video. As many of you know, many of the OG subscribers know, I did buy these for my car. Mine are exactly identical, just to suit an EK, and they're red. That's it. The only difference is they're red. And I've done 3 or 4 track days in the car now, driven 5,000 or 6,000 kilometers, and had no issues. Doesn't mean they're the best in the world, but it means that they're reliable and great value for money. So I'm going to keep using them and recommending them. If anyone wants to take advantage of the sweet sponsorship deal that I got, there'll be a link in the description with all of Maxpeedingrods' information website. It's 15% off whatever you guys want to buy. It can be turbos, can be rods, can be bearings, can be even crankshafts. They even do 2JZ cranks, 2JZ builds, which I know AJ's got one of those, but his is already done. You already know that I've got the GT 2871R Wuhan war whistle on my car, which is again a Maxpeedingrods product. And the reason again why I use such a cheap Chinese turbo is to buy the exact same thing in a brand name, which I have bought before and I have used before and had the exact same success with the brand name ones. That's going to cost me between $1,500 and $2,000 for the exact same thing in a branded one with, you know, extreme quality. We've got the Chinese knockoff one, cost me $169 delivered. If that blows up on me 4 or 5 times, I'm still in front by about $1,000, so it's a no-brainer. Sure, it's not as good, and sure, I'm going to be that guy with the cheap Chinese turbo, but it's just an air pump. It's blowing air. It works, does the job. We're still going to make plenty of power. But we're here to talk about coilovers, and it's the same thing. If these blow out after 2 or 3 years and a few track days, they only cost you a couple of $100 rather than a couple of $1,000. The downside is you can't get them re-gassed or resealed. At least I don't think you can. Maybe there's people out there that could. But why would you bother for $300 or $400? You get a new set. The links will be in the description for the discounts. 15% off everything on their website. Only if you're in Australia though. The code will be Tristan, Tristan, or they've set me up with 2 for some reason because there's 2 different people contacted me. The other code is Tristan1, so if one doesn't work, try the other. They're both going to be flashed up here on the screen right here. So make sure that you jump on, buy something. If you do and you use that code, it comes back on me, and hey, maybe they will give me some free stuff. Let's mod some cars. So what we're working with here is stock height with saggy old, what year model is this?
92.
92, 29 years old. At the moment we're sitting at 63 centimeters off the ground at the guard there. And we're probably going to want to drop that down, what do you reckon, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches, so down to maybe, I don't know, what do you think? Where do you want the guard to sit?
Goal is for the ride height to be 10 millimeters off the ground. For me personally, 10 millimeters off the ground.
100 mil?
100 mil. 100 mil.
10 millimeters?
1 centimeter.
100 mil. That's pretty low, man. So underneath here, your lowest point is a muffler in the center. So I'm going to try and reach under there and see how high that is off the ground. So that is 130 millimeters at your lowest point. So we're going to go down 3 centimeters. So to lower the car legally, as AJ has requested, we're going to drop about 3 centimeters. Now, it's not all about height. The suspension is going to be firmer. It's going to transfer the weight better, and you can adjust the bound and rebound damper control, and we'll show you how to do that. That's going to be a big improvement. On the back wheel arch, it's about 5 mil lower, so we're going to go down to, well, they say that you're supposed to put a bit of rake in the back, so we might only go down 1.5 centimeters, but we'll see. We can always adjust it, whatever looks. It's a combination for me of what looks cool and what works. Well, 625 millimeters or 62.5 centimeters off the ground to that little lip there. Yeah. So let's take a look down here. We have the stock 29-year-old springs and shocks. Seem to be holding up pretty well. There's not a lot of grease and grime on there, so that's all right. Around the back is the fun part. We've got all these new arms and links and everything here, which are pretty cool. They look the business, and they got the ginormous sway bar on there. So here we are, side-by-side comparison. We've got the stock 30-year-old springs and shocks, and they are in pretty decent condition. There it is side-by-side on the other front one. Then here we have the fully adjustable Maxpeedingrods Coilovers. Should be a straightforward chuck-in, and a lot easier being that they're a lot shorter. Let's go throw these in. All right, so the install is complete. Let's check out what they look like in there before we put it down the ground and look at the height. So that's the rear, nice gold color. We have the strut tops there, which have the adjustable dials here. You can click that up and down. In the front, there we are, all set up and sorted. And again, we've got the tops here, which we can change hard and soft. So I'm going to stick it on the ground, put the wheels on, and then I'll put some planks of wood underneath the wheels and tires, so we don't have to put the car all the way down on the ground, and it might be too low. We might not be able to get the jack out. So that's a tip for everyone. Make sure you put some blocks of wood under the wheels, so when you lower it down, you can still get your jack in and out of the car. Not everyone has a super low, mega low jack like I do, so that's a tip.
I know, it didn't move at all.
All right, happy with that.
That's sick. I'm really happy with that. Whoa, that's really low. That's so low.
All right.
Yeah, I think I'll probably be scraping the road. Like no tomorrow in this.
Won't be that bad. We'll lift it up a little bit. So this is what it looks like fresh out of the box. I'll get the tape measure out soon. On the front, tucking tire looks awesome, but we might adjust that. Let me grab the tape measure. In the front, if we take into consideration the piece of timber that's under the tire, we were at 63, we're now at 61 centimeters, but you take that 5 centimeter piece of wood out and we'd be down at 56. So we've got to come up around about 2 to 3 centimeters in height in the front. Let's check out the back. So at the back, we're going to be sitting at about 55 centimeters, whereas before we were at 62.5. So we've got to go up 4.5 centimeters, 5 centimeters in the back as well. So that's okay. It's good. This is for the low stancy boys. But because we want to be legal and take it to the track where we don't want to scrub out these Dureza tires, so we want to make sure that they are doing some of the work too, so and not bumping on the bump stop. So let's fix this up now real quick. All right, so we need to adjust the coilovers up around 3 centimeters at least. So what you need to do is you take your little hooks or C-spanners and you just need to loosen off the bottom ring and then get that right out of the road. We don't need that until later. And then you just need to go this way and wind this one up. This is the part I don't like because it takes forever and you just got to, whoops, and that always happens. It's unavoidable. But you just keep twisting that until the desired height is reached, and it takes a long time. And that doesn't matter what brand you have. You're just winding one thread at a time all the way up until it's pushed the coil up and made the shock longer and then raises the car. So that's what you need to do. Yeah, you don't need to watch me do the whole thing, but it's just a matter of hook that on, twist it, hook it, twist it, over and over. When you think you've gone up to the desired height, tape measure, measure, check, measure, check, keep going. And yeah, so we'll come back once it's all set to where we think. We're going to put it back on the ground and see what it looks like. It's at about 65 mil now, whereas before it was really small. I can't even remember, but it was a very tight gap there. So that's where we're going to leave it, 65 between collar to collar, and I'll measure it on the other side and we'll make them the same and see what it looks like. That's it. Cool. No more wishy-washy anymore. Let's do something about that rubbish suspension.
Absolutely, let's do it.
He's absolutely loving it too, I've got to tell you. Looks so much better. Little beater. What do you reckon?
That inspires so much more confidence in terms of like your turning and everything. I'm just mind blown. My goodness.
Big change?
Big change. Big change.
No
it's
more
nice.
sloshy shocks.
It's a lot more direct because the springs, I guess, you can feel the sag in it, and in comparison to this, you could feel how it was turning left and you wouldn't get the same response in the steering wheel. But now when you turn it left, it actually goes left, or when you turn it right, it goes right. Big difference. Big difference.
So we just have the suspension set on its middle setting, so 12 clicks one way or the other, it doesn't matter, it's right bang in the middle. So it can go stiffer, it can go softer, but it rides pretty comfy. We're not bouncing anywhere.
Surprisingly, I feel like it was definitely well worth its value.
3 or 4 people I know now that are running these coils locally, and yeah, budget, bang for your buck.
Oh my goodness. Left it?
Straight.
Another thing is longevity, but that's later down the track.
Yeah, we'll see how long they last, but they're doing well for me.
My goodness. Wow.
Here we are. Well, AJ was really impressed with that. He was giggling his head off all the way. As soon as we got in the car, I really should have filmed his reaction. I didn't even think. We were just too busy in a rush. He had to head out. Let me know what you think about Maxpeedingrods. I really like them. Maxpeedingrods support us that don't have a lot of money. They support the scene. They're always looking for new content creators, people to test out their products, give them a review. I've got them right here. These are the red ones. They're in my car. I've used them now for over a year. They work just fine. If I went to Repco, Autobarn, anywhere like that, and I bought a set of brand new shocks, they're going to be about $50 a corner, so about $200 for a new set of shocks. Just standard, nothing fancy. And if I bought a set of basic lowered springs, they're going to cost me between $200 to $300 for a set of 4 springs. So already spending around $300 on coilovers, spring shocks, fully adjustable, height adjustable, damper adjustable. You can't really go wrong. It's a no-brainer. You don't need to spend a lot of money. You can go low, or you can go fast, or you can go low and fast. Whatever you want to do. If you just want a softer ride and you just want more comfort, you can put them in, keep them at standard height and make them really soft. If you like a firm ride, hey, just do the opposite. It's really, really simple. Anyone can do it. I'm still waiting on some hose clamps for my car, so there's videos coming on that. There's videos coming on the EM1, so we've got to do the brake upgrade. As mentioned, I've got the Maxpeedingrods brake rotors. I've got some safe brake braided brake lines, and I've got a short shifter for that. Plus, we've also got the oil catch can, which goes right here, takes up the spot there. That's the Maxpeedingrods one as well. So there's plenty of content coming, and I'm looking forward to a long-lasting partnership with Maxpeedingrods. Again, they did not pay me to do this, but they did give me a huge discount. The smaller stuff like this, the short shifter kit, they gave me that for free. They gave me the oil catch can for free, but they didn't pay me any money, but they did give us a big discount on the brake rotors and the coilovers. You can't argue with that. It's what I bought anyway. I already bought these coilovers before I started the channel, long before I'd ever even heard of them. I just saw cheap coilovers and bought them. Then I upgraded the brake rotors, as you'll see in a previous video, and I use those exact same brake rotors there. And then they reached out to me. If you or anyone you know is looking to upgrade suspension, turbo, if you want to get a discount, 15% off, you use the code Tristan, Tristan. If that doesn't work, there's 2. For some reason, they set me up with 2. And the other one is Tristan1. So you can use either of those to get 15% off anything you buy. But as always, thanks for watching. Patreon link is in the description. Maxpeedingrods link is in the description. Discount codes in the description. So don't forget to like, subscribe, spool up, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.